Hi, Secondary Math 3. So again, I hope you got this packet. My Zoom meetings are Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. It's just for 30 minutes, but hopefully you'll stop in. Today is about population parameters, which is descriptive and inferential statistics. Ooh, that's a mouthful there. So descriptive statistics, it involves an organization, summarization, or display of the data. So this is a display. It's the descriptive statistic. And then the inferential means using that to draw conclusions. Okay, so using this data to draw conclusions. And again, if you don't have this packet, it's okay, just write all this information down so you can reference it on your quizzes and whatnot. And so you can see, again, I had distracted myself, but my notes was 15 minutes, my homework was 15 minutes, my quiz was 6 minutes. So I hope that you find this helpful to know what to do. This one is going to take a little bit more time for some of you though. Maybe you're not so great at the calculator. So I'm going to show you how to do this in your calculator. Now, if you haven't already, you're going to want to download the Calculate 84 app. Okay, when you go to Apple or Android, it goes in, or you can just go on the app, the TI-84 website, I think, and you can download a calculator there. But here's the steps, and you can always pause and write them down, but we're gonna do stat, enter. So I'm gonna do it right now. So if I do stat, enter, you can see I have a list 1, list 2, list 3. Now this, I'm gonna put my data in my list 1. If it's not there, I'm gonna show you here in a minute, but that was a lot of data to put in. Do you see all that data? So what I did is I plugged it all in, and I'll show you how in just a minute, but that was just a lot of data. After you've put it in, then you're gonna hit stat, write, enter, 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 enter until you get something, okay? So I'm gonna do it right here, stat, write, and then enter until I get something. There it is. That's what it says. The first question is, what's the mean? Right? Do you see right here that mean that we talked about in the normal distribution? Right? That was our mean. And so it's actually, my calculator is X bar. So right here, it's this one, 29.15. If we were together, I would give you a Cooper example because that was way too much. So let's walk through that again. We're going to hit stat and enter. And I see a list 1. If I don't see a list 1, there's a way to clear your calculator. I'm just going to go ahead and do it right now. Second plus 712. Second plus 712. Here we go. Second plus 712. It's not great on the calculator. It's like downloading a whole movie on the whatchamahoosit on your phone, but it's good enough. So now when I do stat enter, there it is again. If that still doesn't work, let me know and on our Zoom meetings, and I can help you. But let's say we had some numbers in there and we're like, oh, Cooper, I don't want those numbers. You can go up to where it says list 1. You can hit clear, and then when you hit down, magically goes away. So if you're with me, maybe you just do this, maybe pause and you try to put these in and do the same thing. So again, the way we got here was stat, enter, and it gave me my list 1, so I'm going to put these in: 28, 32, 45, 27, 49, 31. This is way more doable for us, right? Especially long distance learning. So we put them all in, and again, what I did is I put the number and I hit enter. Now that I have them all in, I'm going to hit stat, write, enter, enter, enter until I get something. Stat, write, enter, enter, enter. See how I hit it a bunch of times so I got that, and then there it is. My mean, the mu or the mean is 35.3 repeating. So all these things mean the same. That mu from the normal distribution, oh my gosh, that's terrible. And then the X bar or the mean, all that's the same thing. So this is in place of, so that was a lot of data, right? This is in place of me having to do 28, 32, 45, 27, 49, 31, and then dividing by 6, because that's the average, right? We add them up and divide. So when we have lots of data, we don't want to add all those up and then divide by 40. That's crazy talk. Okay. All right, so that's how you're going to do the first question on the quiz too. Okay. And then there's another one. I am looking for a specific word, and maybe I don't need to do that. In my notes, I have sampling validity, but I am not seeing that in this packet, but it's in the notes online. Okay, well, mine says sampling validity is not every random sample results in the same estimated population parameter. And then my estimated, oh, here it is. Estimated population parameter is a hypothesis. You learn that in 10.2. It's a one way to analyze a hypothesis. So like they would give us a random sample and say, is that appropriate? Okay, and then margin of errors. Let's skip over to there. Okay, so here's the formula, margin of error. So I call that ME. You didn't need to know that. That was really random. So the ME is going to be plus or minus 1 over the sample size. So example 4 right here, you can see it says in a survey of this many people in the US. Okay, well that's its sample size. That's how many people were asked. So that's the N. So you can see right here they did 1 over the square root of 2048. There's a couple different ways that you can do that in a calculator. You can do 1 divided by the square root, second square root of 2048, enter, and get that number. If you don't like that, if you're like, ooh, I wish that was prettier, you can hit alpha y equals enter, 1, and then go down, and then your square root again, second square root, 2048. It's the same thing, but just prettier. Alpha y equals, if that's something you're into. Okay, but important information. This gave me a decimal, but I need it in that percentage, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. If I have like 0.35, that's the same as 35%. So same thing, if that's 0.022, if I move it over, that's 2.2%. So the way that we find margin of error is we find that it says 55% of the data, right? So that's what they said is their main source. So if 55 is their statement with a margin of error of 2.2, we take that original 55 and we subtract 2.2 and we add 2.2. And then we can say that it's between 52 and 57. Okay, so you know, I haven't done this one, but we might as well. Right here, we've got a margin of error. Please leave, baby. I'm in the middle of a okay. So we would do plus or minus 1 over the square root of 1028. Okay, so my calculator again. Ooh, I'm just gonna go down there and do that because it's so pretty. 1028. So this one is 0.0311. So if I put that in, again, that would be moving it over, that's 3.1. And so it says 87%, that's their claim. So I would do 87 minus 3.1 and 87 plus 3.1. So 87 minus 3.1, 87 plus 3.1. And so I could say that in this survey, 87% used the internet. Well, then I could say actually it's going to be between 83.9% and 90.1% of the people use their data. So it's a margin of error saying, well, it could be to the left, could be to the right. Okay. Okay. I think Yeah, and then it goes into the homework. So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna put all those into your stat enter and hit the stat right enter, 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 just like we did over here to find the mean. And then answer those questions. And again, here's the answers. If you have, I thought this was funny. Do you see like right here? They even have a flatten the curve. And then right here, here's all the answers. And then it's the stats review. So that's kind of the last new lesson. That's exciting. Have a good day.